Hello, crypto, and welcome to another weekly blaze. I hope you caught our stream with Marco the Hexagon last night. We had a great chat about many things in crypto.
Weekly blaze.
And
Hope you
tonight
caught our
we
stream
have
with Marco the Hexagon last night. We had a great chat about many things in crypto. Weekly blaze.
And
Tonight caught our stream with Marco the Hexagon last night. We had a great chat about many things in crypto. Weekly blaze.
This is what happened last night as well.
Twice in a row.
Get me off the screen.
Well, yeah, while we wait for him to sort his audio out, Rayman, what's good?
Well, it's good. No, it's all good. I mean, these are little technicalities. It doesn't mean a jack squat. And we got a really special guest. The Verse is here with us, Chaos Chris, and
yeah,
let's bring him up. Let's get going.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me on,
man.
Super excited. Glad you guys got this live stream cooking. Got a little technical difficulties.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, man.
Excited. Glad you guys got this live stream cooking. We got an echo. I don't know why that's happening.
It's probably because he's got two things streaming. Whether I don't know if it's on the second browser or something or whatnot, but that's wild, man.
Probably YouTube.
Yeah, it might be a glitch in the matrix, but stuff happens.
We had the same problem last night when he did the intro. We had the exact same issue, and I had to cut him off and bring him back. So yeah, we'll try and get that sorted.
Absolutely. But yeah, guys.
How you doing? You good?
Yeah, doing good, man. Crypto's popping off. We got the return of the GameStop guy. I completely forgot his name, something cat. But long story short, crypto's popping. We got meme coins. We got DeFi. We got AI altcoins. Market a little bit downturn. Everybody's crying on Twitter, but guess what? We're still building. We're still going out for them gains, and it's great to see the TinyX builders absolutely building. What's up with you guys? How's everything going?
Yeah, good. Still here, still building through all the pain that the community's been feeling. So yeah, it's nice to meet you, Chris. And we've got I'm gonna try to get Ali back up, and then we'll jump into some stuff. But yeah, it's been an interesting few months, just literally heads down, trying to get this thing together. We always had Bitcoin halving as a sort of a marker for for launching it, but we're almost there. Ali, you back?
I'm actually afraid to speak and say anything. I switched everything off, shut all the browsers down, and the computer kept talking to me in my own voice. Fucking scary.
Hey, it's all good, dude.
Somebody's probably monitoring you, dude. You never know. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Don't take us down, YouTube.
Yeah, but no such agency. I don't know. Right? I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah. Go ahead, guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we're good. Like Josh said, man, we wanted the Bitcoin halving around that, but as I'm looking at the date, but we got to make this bulletproof, right? We got to make this code bulletproof. We got to make our UI bulletproof, and everything has to be just right. And the changes that we made that you could say have delayed launch are imperative, to success. And we believe that. And people, I mean, this is a good time. I mean, we're coming up on it, and so as you can see, we're not messing around. We're giving away $1,000 to ETH a week until we launch. So that's imminent, right? We don't want it to be like 20 weeks away. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Actually, before we kick this off, you guys don't mind me asking a question, just do a little round robin across the room. So TinyX, inflation hit. A lot of pain going on, a lot of stuff going on within this ecosystem. I'm curious to hear every single one of your opinions. What do you think about TinyX at the time of this recording of what's going on? And what do you think about the future outlook? So we'll start off with Rainman.
Okay, so TinyX right now is, going through its supply release stage. It's maxed out almost. There's not many miners, if any, being created anymore. So there's no more supply because of the way Jake did the tokenomics, right? So it costs so much more to virtually mine the token. And we're coming up on day 280. There's a V1 buy and burn that is most likely going to be there. And this is a guess, right? but it's going to be there to eliminate some of that supply. We're coming. I'm holding my Titan X for sure. It's low, and the Jeets can sell out. A lot of people knew this. This is a DeFi token, not a pump and dump, right? So, and Jake said the whole time, not financial advice, right? But this is going to take some time. It's planned for the bull cycle, and that's what it's doing. So I think Titan X is where it's at. If you're looking to sell Titan X right now, that's the wrong move in my perspective, and that's not financial advice. It's paired in with Hyper. It's paired in with R280, right? That we're going to burn a ton of Ethereum to allocate towards a 280 spike, and there won't be a whole lot of Titan X left to get around unless you're buying it off Uniswap. That's my opinion. So it's pretty solid. People are feeling the hurt, but you got to hang in there. I mean, we're still in the beginning of the bull cycle. So if you're selling your tokens now, then you might want to rethink that NFA, right?
Yeah, awesome, man. Good stuff. What about you, Bass Sports? Give us your perspective / opinion on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think I dare say I think it looks like we've bottomed earlier than I thought. I think we've got a lot coming up with Blaze, Pulsar, Helios is still building, Eros coming up. They're going to be taking a hell of a lot of Titan X off the market. I think we're just about making higher lows at the minute. Just about. We could just fly past today looking at it actually, but yeah, I think Jake's surprised. I think we've become deflationary in a way, or it's reduced its inflation so much, I think, earlier than expected. So yeah, very positive, lots coming up. I think the next, say, 2 months are going to be super exciting. And then, yeah, like Justin says, 280, I don't think is going to be as, a painful experience as people once thought it was,
Awesome. Great points. And then last but not least, the legendary Ali. Hit us, man. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, whenever we had the choice a few weeks back, do we pull the plug? Titan X was at the bottom. There was 12 people turning up to Mike Dean's weekly spaces. The chart was down only. Jake had disappeared. We had the choice at that stage to go, you know what, fuck this. This is a disaster. Let's leave. But we dug a little bit deeper. There's a lot of smart people in the ecosystem. There's a lot of holders. There is a pretty thriving community of builders. There is a big community behind it as well. And when you go and dig a little bit deeper and the what funds are being held, there's a lot of wealthy people holding Titan X, and they don't need to sell at these lows. And I think when the market turns, well, like everything else, Titan has the power to pump as hard as anything else, is the way I see it. So we're here, we're building now. There's many things being built that will utilize Titan X. When I say many, even 5 to 10 projects that are built with decent quality. Helios has done a great job with what he's building. Miners are even in profit there at the minute. So I just think that we made the right choice to stick it out and help benefit the ecosystem. That's my take on it. I was selling Titan X the whole way down. I had miners, and I thought to myself at a certain time, I can do better with these funds somewhere else. So I was selling, going to Pulse Chain, buying some shit coins and stuff over there. And I was making money all my Titan was in profit. And I was taking that profit and making more money in other places with that. But now is the time. I stopped selling any Titan X probably about a month ago. There was a mastermind, one of the mastermind calls with Jake a few weeks ago. This is probably going back a month, and we were joking, saying, "Yeah, I think the bottom's in," and it took another dip for another 2 weeks. But hopefully the bottom is in. And as I say, look, I'm not saying I don't feel the need to sell Titan X anymore. I think selling it now is a big mistake. And that's my take on the whole ecosystem. We're looking forward to getting our own project out. And yeah, I mean, I still think it's going to pump like hell whenever it starts running.
Yeah. So this is something I need to address, because I haven't been live streaming hardcore. I just been doing meme coins, and I know everyone viewing this live stream, you guys have been seeing my Twitter. I just been touching stuff, going all over the crates, and running around like a little. I'm not gonna curse, but just being a freaking degenerate nutcase. the thing I'll say about Tea&X is the beginning brought a lot of eyes to the entire ecosystem. It was a very new protocol, and there was a lot of attention to it. And now we're going through the growing pain phase. And now we're getting to this point where so much of Tea&X hit the market. And in my opinion, through the growing pain phase, this is the development phase. This is the best time for projects to come on. And sooner or later, we're going to see the inflation get curved. We're going to see an increase in the impact of the buy and burn. And we're going to have a turning point. As to what's going to happen in the next year, I'm not really sure, and it's very difficult to speculate. But the one thing I do know is we have a buy and burn. We have a couple projects kicking in and doing their thing, and the story isn't over. And I'm excited to see what happens, but I do think there's going to be a positive outcome. And until that buy and burn contract gets exhausted, then this thing still has got some life back into it. So overall, positive.
It'll be interesting to see as well what Jake's building at the minute, X28. It'll be interesting to see what he actually comes out with. Okay, but everybody, I didn't touch Hyper. I didn't like Hyper at all, and a lot of people kind of got burnt. But people are starting to market buy Hyper now. So it'll be interesting to see as well what Jake does come out and help. Obviously help his own ecosystem. With what he's building now as well. Be just, he could come out with a few surprises as well that, we're all out here building, we're all out here talking about what we're doing. He's disappeared in the background. So I'll really like to see what he actually comes out with whenever he starts coming out. I think he's had the good graces as well to kind of take a back seat and not rush the builders that are building now. He has given us support. I know that he wants to get Eros out. He wants us to get Blaze out. So yeah, there's loads to come.
Yeah, it's exciting, and I think we still have a lot of bull market left, and we still haven't really seen the full explosion of the Tea&X ecosystem. It was just the initial phase got the eyes. The building development phase is where projects come in. And then once we start to get to day 280 and then closer to day 369, that's when we're going to see the full Tea&X potential. And some other things I want to point out, shout to Helos, great project. The guy looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Really great guy, man. Overall, nicest dude ever, building an awesome ecosystem, just launched a project on Poleshane. And then the other one I want to say is shout out to Eric over at Dragon X. He built a phenomenal protocol. I believe the other week he burnt, he didn't burn, but the Dragon X protocol burnt 12% of the supply. So that's really awesome. It's really great to see. And overall, nothing but positive things to say. So definitely good stuff, guys.
You didn't, did you? I don't think you had that beard the last time we spoke, did we? I think
No.
your and Eric's beards kind of looking pretty similar there.
Yeah. No, I got the beard coming in, man. I just been surfing so much. Like this is my beach house, and down below I have my surfboards on to go out, and something about surfing and just being lazy go hand in hand together, and I just don't feel like shaving.
And there's nothing lazy about, in case you don't surf, there's nothing lazy about surfing. I lived in Sebastian Inlet, for a long time in Melbourne Beach and surfs and stuff. And my cousin's a pro surfer. It is serious business. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'll fly, man. I gotta ask his name, man. That's crazy, dude. That's pretty sick, man. Sebastian Inlet is beautiful, man. So,
yeah. I used to live 6 miles north of that on A1A, right down there. It's epic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you his name later.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, he's Kelly Slater's from there, so he surfed with Kelly Slater in Hawaii to Portugal in competitions. So
yeah, I saw him I saw Kelly Slater in a grocery store there. So we'll talk about it later. So
yeah.
So
one thing to mention real quick. Just talking about Tea&X. I remember a long time ago, and Jake can correct me in any way, shape, or format if this is wrong, but he thought it would take 700 days, right? I think he said that one time, and to become deflationary, and it's going to happen way before that. Looks like half the time, hopefully for Tea&X, and so that's pretty epic. He didn't lead people on to some fairy tale. He said 700 days, and now he's got like 5 protocols built on top of it. They're going to help him nuke that. So it's pretty epic.
Yeah, and the other thing I also want to say about Jake was, if you guys remember, I was the first one to interview him about Tea and and that's when all the pitchforks came out, and everybody was going crazy. And I was the guy who said, "F all of you guys! Like, I don't care. I don't care. I'll say whatever I want. Freedom of speech. You don't like me, I don't care. You're just kids on the internet. It is what it is." And the point I'm trying to get across is a lot of this is just speculative devices. We're well, not devices, but speculative, decentralized applications. I don't know if that's the correct terminology, but I think you guys get the point I'm trying to get across. This is the time where we have DeFi, meme coins, and a lot of speculation on what's going to hit and what's not going to hit. And we're not sure what the future is going to be. And there's a good chance most of these projects will collapse and disappear. And I think Jake designed TinyX to be something to live on forever, so that projects can build on top of it and be a new approach to Launchpad. So that was the other thing. So I'll stop going rants.
Yeah, well, look, see, it's important for us. You know, we're all in here. We're all built on Titan, but we're by no means Titan maxis or anything like that. You know, I'm over. You're talking about DJing over in Solana. I'm DJing over on Pulse Chain, pretty flat out. I've got bags of Tangang coins, and you know, I'm all over the place. Like you say, you just don't know what's going to work. We've got Zen bags, Pulse bags, you know, or I got P-dye bags packed as well. So, you know, a couple of these things hit. I'm well covered, and I hope a lot of people out there are too. But how did you get on over on Solana? I fucking hate Solana. I wouldn't go over if you fucking paid me. But just wanted to say that because I know Rain Man's been banned Solana. Soy boy.
All right. Well, this is a great story. So basically what happened was there's a lot of craziness going on Pulse Chain. People are going back and forth and just being toxic, and I don't know. You got two types of people. You got the ones that complain on Twitter, and then you got the grinders, the hard workers. I call them the blue collar investors. So I'm one of those guys. I'm sure all you guys are. You're just here to find the best plays, and that's how it just goes. One of my buddies, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, he actually launched a project on Solana called 𝗪𝗍, and I'll briefly go into that. I'll draw the diagram to explain what it is, but he went over there, and a lot of the PDI guys went that route to go play around in Solana. I went over to base and just started going on base, and then I ended up on Degen chain, which was just crazy. I'm not going to go into that story. It'll take an hour. But long story short, I went on to base, and I found a token called Coinye, and it's just like the Kanye West token. Just FYI, I did not launch this. Please don't sue me. I have no idea what the project is.
He's already suing somebody, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
There's a good chance, but that was just a joke. But basically, he launched this project called 𝗪𝗍, and he wanted to replicate the Atropa and the A1A ecosystem on top of Solana by taking a token called 𝗪𝗍 and 𝗪𝗲 and create a thick LP between these tokens. And then he took 𝗪𝗍 and paired it up with 12 other tokens so that it just drives volume through the 𝗪𝗍 token. It's basically he's basically reinventing like a Atropa ecosystem on Solana. Now, here's the best part. He's creating 𝗪𝗍 as a bridge token onto Pulse Chain. Wait, but there's more. He's creating a similar ecosystem that he created on Solana onto a Pulse Chain. So he's creating a cross-chain liquidity web with a bridge token so that you can bridge value straight from Solana into Pulse Chain as a way for people who want to come from Solana straight to Pulse Chain once we start to see the Pulse Chain pump. You see what I'm saying, guys? So
Yeah. Nice.
It's good.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I mean, because Solana, you know, I think obviously you can have native USDC on there, right? You can bridge that. And now they're going to bridge native Ethereum. Now they're going to bridge native Ethereum. And so the gas fees, if you're on Solana and you want to bridge the Pulse Chain, I mean, that's a big percentage difference versus bridging from Ethereum, right? To Pulse Chain. So that's kind of where Solana comes in, and that's a deep discussion, you know, about Solana. But it's the TPS, you know, per second is through the charts, right? It's like XRP blockchain functionality almost. Even though people say that it's broken chain, it's broke down this, but they're actually implementing scalability functions, you know, through some of Google's hardware, like Quick. I don't know if you know about any of that. And so they're testing things to perfect it, and it's not perfected, and none of this is, but they're on the right path, I think. So I'm down with Solana.
Yeah, and the thing is with what 𝗧𝗵𝗲, like he's a really good friend of mine, and same with a lot of these PDI guys. Because when we had to come up talk about PDI, we all got attacked. Like the Pitchfork people came at us for that, and then the same Pitchfork people came after me when the TinyNext thing happened. So it was pretty easy to say "F you" twice. But
there was a did the Pulse Chain conference cover P-Day or stick a video out about P-Day?
yeah,
Did you see
and
it?
yeah, I
Did you
did
see
see
it?
it. Yeah,
Was it informed or was it full of shit?
It was informed. Yeah. I care. It was Decentralized Me that put that out there. I talked to him a few times. So basically what happened was a lot of the PDI guys. So I was one of the a bunch of people live stream about, but I was one of the first people to live stream alongside that group of people about it. And then those guys basically got burnt out, and then a couple new guys that were watching the entire time stepped up and started doing even more research. So he put out that video and it caused a lot of controversy, which is good. So it got a lot of eyes. And yeah, man. But the one thing I want to tell you guys about Solana and DeFi, and this is an important point for everybody viewing this live stream. Companies and corporations, they're going to build their own centralized blockchain, whether you like it or not. They don't care about decentralization. That's just not how it works. If you look at TradFi, you're going to see these type of systems implemented onto DeFi and cryptocurrency and the stuff you see. That's why people like Pulse Chain, no VC dumps, and decentralized. So the point I'm trying to get across is the reason why Solana is so lucrative is because you don't have to deal with the gas fees, and there's meme coins on top of that chain, and there's a lot of liquidity on top of it. The only reason why people are over there, the volume is $1 billion. If it goes below 50 million, I guarantee you people will move to somewhere else. That's the only reason. So I do agree with you guys. I don't like Solana whatsoever. I don't care for it. But if there's money to be made,
yeah,
I'm going to be on that chain.
It's just time, isn't it? It's just so much time. Even because you know, 𝗧𝗵𝗲, I had included his NFTs in the Pulse Wars game, and he sent me a message saying you need to pay attention. He changed the name of his Telegram group. He sent me a DM, said you need to pay attention with what we're doing over here. And I was like, right, okay. But honestly, I just didn't have the time. So many things going on. I didn't have the time. I probably would have went and had a look. 𝗪𝗪 is that the main coin that is that the main coin within the ecosystem? Did I see that it's kind of done a bit of a double bottom or something there recently? Because it pumped hard at the start. Yeah.
Yeah, let me do this for you guys here. I got the chart right here. I'm gonna do a quick screen share.
Yeah. And Chris, for what it's worth, while you're bringing that up, I mean, we're blockchain agnostic. We decided, you know, Ali announced it in our show yesterday, and our guys agree, and the team, that this is a show about crypto, right? I mean, we have our products and we have our favorites, but we want everybody to be successful. And if we can bring some of that alpha, like what you're talking about with Solana, or what Ali's talking about with PDI, whatever it is, I mean, we're going to talk about it on here. You know, we're not going to hate I love that, the Pitchfork guys. I mean, we should meme coin that. Just for what it's worth.
Hey, add the screen real quick, and I agree with you, man. So there you go. Awesome. Yeah, no, I agree, man. I mean, you know, everyone always speculates with different coins. I don't believe in maximalism too much anymore. So, but I mean, I understand if you want to stick with one or two projects, completely understandable. But I just don't like.
It's funny though, they talk about maximalism. I mean, maybe it's just I don't see too many maximalists about anybody that I speak to. They've got bags of friggin' everything.
Yeah, it changed real quick. So here's basically what happened. I did a live stream, and one thing I was able to identify was we had a cup right here, and then we had a handle, and that basically gave us a target on 𝗪𝗪, and that's where I got this yellow line from. Basically that's where the target came in. It came up into that target. So overall, I'm confident that the bottom of Dumbbell's in at 0.002. So basically bottom out here, and then I believe this was a lower high. Let's just take a look at it real quick. Oh, actually, yeah, it was about the same. But yeah, so we had a double bottom, came back up and started building. Now, I'm gonna do a quick diagram for you guys, because I do firmly believe that this is going to be a really great project that everybody should take a look at. And you never know, you guys can mess around with something like this on a Blaze team in the future after you get your protocols out and you got all that stuff. But I'll do a quick explanation, and then I'm going to have to reshare my screen real quick. All right, so let's remove this. And then present. Man, I haven't done one of these drawings in a minute. It's been a minute. Last time I did this was when I was live streaming hardcore about Tea and Crumpets. So yeah. So basically, here's how this is going to work. So you got Dumbbell. And so we're going to say this is the coin, and then this connection right here is like the LP. And then you got Potter. And then under Dumbbell, you have a bunch of different LPs. One of them is John's. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get you guys shadow banned, but it's Alux John's, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So that's one token. And this goes into the Politify meta. He also had one called Cholo. It's a cat token. After Cholo's, I believe it's a Mexican gangster. And then there's about 12 other of these LPs. So I'm not going to draw every single one because it'll just take forever. Yeah. So basically what happens is when you have money trading across... Come on, give me another color. All right. So when you have money trading across these LPs, it's basically creating a thick bonding between Potter and Dumbbell, and that's where you're going to start to see liquidity / money being stored. And when that happens, you're basically going to create something like a Priceler. So here's the chart, and it's going to start doing that gradual increase like we saw on the previous screen. Now here's the hidden sauce. You come over here, Dumbbell is going to have this beautiful bridge. And then we're going to the promised land, baby. Let's freaking go to the promised land.
Everybody's bringing it back to Pulse. Woohoo!
And then on this side, we're going to have our Dumbbell token, right?
Okay, so what's the mechanism there? Does it burn one token and give you it on the other chain, or it's obviously can't be the same coin?
It burns one token and gives it to you on the other chain.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So you can go back and forth.
Okay. And
it's being done through the Blockbin bridge that does the privacy bridge swaps, and they also have the credit card. And he's working with them. So this one's going to have a bunch of other LPs, so to speak. I don't know which one they're going to be, but I'll bet one of them's probably going to be a Tropa, and then another one's going to be our lovely P-Dye. Right here, P-Dye, our lovely P-Dye. Everybody loves P-Dye, except the Maxis, but they're probably in it too. So you guys get the point what I'm trying to say. You're gonna have Dumbbell on Solana, and it's gonna be like one price. Let's say it's like 0.01, and then on Pulse Chain, you're gonna have the same mechanic, and this could potentially be like 0.002. So if you're a trader and you're looking at this, you're like, oh, okay. If I buy Dumbbell on Solana and bring it straight over to Pulse Chain, I can sell it at 0.002 and get a 2x off my money. What's that doing? It's bringing value from Solana to Pulse Chain. I think it's absolutely brilliant. What do you guys think?
So essentially be able to arb across that bridge. Can you go back to Solana or just to Pulse Chain?
You can go back to Solana, yes.
Yeah, forward and back. So what does the Dumbbell on Solana, does that supply reduce? Does it get banned completely from existence on Solana, or are you literally bridging that token across?
Yeah, so when you bring the token across, it creates like it's like a 1-to-1. So it'll basically take the bridge token, it'll go into the bridge, and then it'll create the Potter token onto the Pulse chain. So you're not creating like a new token over on Pulse chain. That's how it stands. It could change. I need to talk to 𝗧𝗵𝗲 about it, but that's what we're rocking with right now. And the other thing, you brought up a great point. These are going to be with V3 LPs, right? So the fees are actually burning the 𝗪𝗶 token. So 𝗪𝗶 is hyper deflationary on top of that.
It's all in existence already, is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in existence right now. I believe a lot of the a lot of this wallet's held by the it's kind of like an OA wallet, and the OA wallet's setting up critical LPs, and then it's also monitoring the LP between the 𝗪𝗶 and the Potter token, because if you put too many tokens in this LP, it'll actually get diluted and cause some issues. And I was talking to 𝗧𝗵𝗲 about it, and he's been really strategic, and he's planning on getting it to the point where the price floor is set, and then whatever's left over, he's just going to burn the rest of the tokens. As to how many tokens there are being burned, I'm not sure, but in my opinion, this is the #1 play on Solana. I don't care. We're going to Hogwarts. Let's freaking go, baby. Dogwarts, whatever it's called. So
yeah, there's not that many DeFi tokens on Solana yet, right? It's just I mean, the builders who have built on Solana are incredible. Wormhole, Portal, all that stuff. I mean, if you go into that and dig deep, I mean, these things are incredibly developed. It's exciting to see the future of that. And if we bridge the Pulse chain from Solana, I mean, that's like a win-win. Pure DeFi on Pulse chain side, and we got Solana. I mean, it's different, right? But there's some powerhouses over there, and they seem to be good peeps. And I'm liking what I'm seeing drastically. I mean, we just hit like, what was it, 250 or 260 already, or was it in Solana already? And went back down with that's all ETF related, right? We had the US ETFs, and then we had the Asian ones kick off. So I don't know. We're excited about that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the other thing I want to add about Solana, I'm not like a Solana maxi or whatever. And I've been on the chain for a couple days, and I made some awesome picks. Very lucky, but I will say one thing: a lot of these Bitcoin maxi DJing guys, well, not Bitcoin maxis, their idea of the future is Bitcoin's the store of value, and then you can bridge your Bitcoin onto Solana or some other chain, and then that's where you can play the DJing speculative game. So that's how they're seeing the future. But I want that bridge value from Bitcoin to be involved with Tea and Crumpets or the Pulse chain ecosystem. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what's your take on what Pulse Chain's looking like now, the ecosystem, the price performance? What are you thinking about? What's your take on what's going on over there at the minute? What have you got your eyes on? Have you got any plays over there that you're interested in? Just the general what your thoughts are over there?
Yeah, so Pulse Chain's kind of crazy in a sense that there's a lot of drama. I feel like I'm back in high school when I'm on that Twitter, man. But when it comes to what's being built on Pulse Chain, Tangang has built out a crazy LP web, 9mm V3 pool's been awesome. 9-inch launch V3 pool's awesome. And then the 𝗧𝗵𝗲 ecosystem. You probably heard those two words before. It is the craziest ecosystem ever. And I'll give you guys the nuts and the bolts because this will take 5 hours to explain. But the developer 𝗪𝗲 is creating an L2 and also creating this gamified version where the goal is to not only bring value to Pulse chain, but also create systems where it replaces the current financial system in a decentralized manner, and also recreate the internet on top of Pulse chain. Now there's a lot going on there, and there's a lot of details. But long story short, what's going on with the 𝗧𝗵𝗲 ecosystem is there's a bunch of projects being put together. So overall, the development of Pulse chain has been beautiful. There's so many awesome projects. The meme coin community is going hard. We see meme coins left and right. Now the question is, 52 weeks to shake out the weekends. How many times have you guys heard that? Probably a lot. And I'm gonna tell you I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm the first one to say nothing's gonna happen, and everybody hated on me, but it's all good. So the point I'm trying to get across is Pulse Chain's time is going to be probably towards the tail end of the bull market. When that comes in, we're going to see the ETH top, the Bitcoin top, and then we're going to see the Pulse Chain skyrocket. When this happens, the things I'm looking at PDI, PTGC. Gosh, man, I'm trying to remember.
UFO.
Oh yeah, UFO, great token. Wrap Bitcoin. There's going to be a lot of these PRC20s that will reach parity. I think Wrap Bitcoin is going to go to parity. And before everyone started talking about PRC20 parity, I went through every ERC20 token. I said, man, if I was on Ethereum, how many of these tokens would I want? And I bought the amount I wanted. So I might be a Chainlink whale. I might be a Wrap Cow whale. I might be a Wrap BTC whale.
As long as you're a whale.
And here's the deal. I do think the PRC20s are going to parity. So all in all, what's happening on Pulse Chain is liquidity. How much value can we get from Ethereum, Solana, Base Chain, all these other chains? And when we bring this liquidity over, will these PRC20s hit peg? And if they hit peg, you can use this as a great yield farming experience. So I know that was a lot. You want me to break down anything?
I mean, I watched that 𝗧𝗵𝗲 interview like 10 times over and over just to try and get a bit more of an understanding on it. And I get the process of how everything works, but I need to spend a hell of a lot more time on that. But like Ali said, there's just not enough time in the day. When if you're in the middle of building something, then trying to stream, it's like, how the hell do you how the hell do you do it?
Well,
I'm gonna have to listen to your streams a bit more, Chris, I think.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I scale back on streaming because I wanted some more time to do trades and research. When you're streaming, you're trying to do all this stuff, man. It gets to your head, and the thing about YouTube is they don't like crypto streamers, and then X hasn't really built out a streaming platform. So rule of thumb, 1 to 2 times a week usually gets the job done. And I do agree with you. You got to pick and choose what you want to look at. And in my opinion, the best thing with the highest opportunity cost value is the meme coin trading, and then having a bag of like AI, games, L1s, whatever narrative on top of that. Any thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously I've got my own project there. Pulse Wars getting built. We've got the Blaze protocol built. We've got Blaze Wars getting built. We're going to do a Blaze project over on Pulse Chain. So the difference in where I wanted to spend my time building and adding to the communities rather than sitting and researching coins and doing trades. I packed my main bags months and months ago. We were buying coins on Pulse Chain months and months and months ago, all the way down, and the bags were all packed. So that's kind of where I decided that I'm going to spend my time. I'm going to spend because you got to make the choice. I still spend pretty much all day, every day, trying to research, trying to talk to people. I'm on Telegram. I'm in all the Telegram groups, trying to learn all the time. But I do spend most of my time, with talking to developers and, meetings and planning. So that's where I spend most of my time. But you just have to have your finger on the pulse at all times, watching and be ready to make moves. That's what I sort of had a wee question down there to say, had you actually caught anything? Did you get in really early on any coins? And like actually caught a 50 to 100x since this whole madness kicked off? I've caught a couple, Solid X. I was lucky enough to get in on that 𝗧𝗵𝗲 coin as well. Caught 𝗧𝗵𝗲 coin about 30 seconds after it was launched, and actually got a proper 100x. Exited the position with it. So just when you're talking to people all the time as well, people send you a message, get on this quickly. So I've been lucky enough. But have you caught anything like that? What else did I catch? even the dick with butt. I happened to be in the Telegram chat and seen that Too Spooky dropped the message or dropped the contract address at that time. I was able to get in again on that one within the first couple of minutes. So some of these things have been so awesome, just by being in chat rooms and chatting with people.
Yeah. I have a spreadsheet. I can't remember, but I've caught 14 coins that did 100x or more. 14, and my highest one so far was 𝗵𝗲, which was like a 4,500 something x. It was a little bit after the bottom, and I'll give you a couple. I can't remember off the top of my head. That's a lot.
I sold. I caught 𝗵𝗲 really low, but I sold it. Like, I don't know. I look back at that now, you go, oh shit, what did I do? But
yeah. So when that happened, man, I was pretty comfortable on Pulse Chain. So I was just like, okay, whatever. I mean, I don't have to catch everything on Pulse Chain, but it was 𝗵𝗲. 𝗧𝗵𝗲 was an awesome one. I caught a Tropa because I had no idea what it was, so I bought it. That thing did absolute numbers. I know it was definitely more than 100x. HOA. So my story about HOA, this is a funny one. I remember the first day when it launched, I get on this space, I see a bunch of oranges, and then everyone was sitting there, and basically they're having like a little voice chat, and they're freaking out. They're like, "There's no way this thing did like 100 or 200x in a day." I was like, what is going on? And then out of nowhere, this guy started freaking out. I was like, bro, I got the best idea. I'm going to buy a bunch of oranges and take pictures of them and put them on Twitter. And I sat there. I laughed so hard. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to throw, it was like a $200, $300 scratcher. And then it goes down. And then I'm just like, all right, whatever. Next thing you know, I look up, this thing did like 150x. I was like, holy cow. I had no idea that this thing even like was going to do its thing. So there was that one. God, man, I'm trying to remember.
I spend a lot of time in the Tang Gang chat with the guys in there. Obviously, whenever I was building out Pulse Wars, and collaborate with all these different NFT collections. I mean, obviously, the Tang Gang is the hub for NFTs on Pulse Chain. So I do spend a lot of time in there, and the meme coins are absolutely epic. But I thought that at the start, and I posted this at the time, thought the Tang Gang was a fucking stupid idea. I was like, Tang Gang, what the fuck is this? And didn't pay any attention at the start. But then after you see them kind of starting to gain traction, and then whenever I was obviously getting into NFTs and starting to talk and see what was going on over there, I think, it's a great little thriving little ecosystem.
Yeah, no, Tang Gang's it's a cool ecosystem. They're really building it out. And then after the Tang Gang, Stronghold, it's a RWA. One of my buddies was telling me about it. I got 100x on that one. I think
never even heard of that.
They're doing it's like financial payments. And then the other one, I think it was Goldfinch. It was another RWA. I'm trying to go through my brain. I can't remember what they do. I remember researching them. But yeah, man, I got really lucky, guys. It's fun. At the end of the day, we're all here to, have fun in crypto, and this is your one opportunity, so don't mess it up. So that's my best thing to say. What about you guys? You guys got any good coins or anything?
Blaze,
here you go.
Nice, Justin.
Nice. It's been a while, Chris, since we were on last. And did you know that we switched our LP to V2 from V3? By any chance, in the so the liquidity pair? Josh, you want to talk about that for a second, or
yeah,
is that cool?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
That. So basically, we had our liquidity pair with Blaze, right, and Titan X, and so in V3 it's different. You can pull liquidity, but the fees are going to go back in with V2 into make the liquidity pool thicker with Titan and Blaze. So Josh, you want to help me out with that? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, decision we made on it was just to build that a really healthy pool instead of pulling the fees, burning them, or adding them back in or taking them as a fee. So yeah, switch to V2. It'll just accumulate and constantly build, keep it nice and thick and healthy as we grow. And yeah, I think it was a good move. There's actually someone in the chat with us in our Telegram said like, why, what's your decision behind V3? And then we started to talk about it and realize that probably for what we want to build, fully decentralized, hands off, nothing, that was the best way to do it. So yeah, I think it was a good move. And
Yeah.
I think as well, it's going to help with, so obviously we want to try and help with the, increase the deflation of Titan X. So it's going to lock away more Titan X in that pool. So it's going to constantly be any Titan X fee from that V2 pool is just going to constantly get locked back in that smart contract pool. So yeah.
So question, so V3, I know Titan X is the V3 because it takes the fees and just burns it basically. And then with you guys switching over to V2, you're basically taking the fees, putting the value back into the liquidity pool. Do you have any concerns of a massive amount of sell pressure on, I would say, the Blaze side that could dilute your pool? Any concerns about that?
You do mean sell pressure just in general on the Blaze from that pool?
Yeah. So do you think that your liquidity pool will get exhausted much faster with the V2? Like the amount of the dollar amount coming out? I don't know if I said, I think I made that really confusing. So I think the main point I'm trying to get across is with V2, you're trying to bring in more Titan X into that pool. Do you think it's going to be more beneficial to add another deflationary mechanic behind Blaze with the V3 LPs? Or do you think by adding more economic energy to that V2 pool using the fees going back in, do you think that's going to be, which one do you think is going to be better for the protocol?
Yeah, I think we want to make it as thick as we can.
Okay.
But just for more, we want to attract people to come in and be able to, make bigger buys and sells without, too much sort of concern of high slippage. And we also, with your point there about having a secondary buy and bend through, if we use V3, we have got future plans to implement something on that. So sell pressure is going to happen, but yeah, we've got plans to build on top of that and build out the Blaze ecosystem as well. So it would be more beneficial to have a thicker pool for that future development.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit more about Blaze. So since we last talked, we had a great conversation about Blaze and Titan Wars, and you guys have a very, very interesting project. To me, with Titan Blaze, it's similar to DB except you guys are adding pump mentals behind it and just building on top of Titan X. So with where you guys are launching right now, do you guys think you're launching at an optimal time in the market for this project protocol? Or do you think, actually, no, let me back up. When you guys were determining the launch for Titan Blaze, what factors did you take into consideration?
Who's got that?
Well, we don't want to be in the height of the bull market, especially for Ethereum for gas, right? Because we saw it go up to 4,200. Gas got crazy, and despite Vitaly, in what he's doing, it was still through the roof. So, and we're a little bit past our deadline, but like I said, we want to make sure that this is bulletproof. And what we're doing now is this launch time, I think it is optimal because we're a little low. ETH is low, because of the high speculation from the ETFs that really kind of saved crypto and kind of pushed it along from the halving, in my opinion, especially when the Hong Kong ones came out. And so I think we're back at a level playing field. This is a different cycle than the other ones because of the ETFs. And so I think all that has to be taken into consideration. And with us launching after both ETFs have already come out, we've seen the damage they can do and the good they can do. I think it's the optimal time. I mean, ETH is below unless it just shoots up super fast, it still should be low $4,000 for a launch, and that's ideal for our users, frankly. That's my
Yeah,
opinion. What do you guys think, Josh,
Go ahead.
Chris, whatever?
Well, here's the thing I want to say, and I think this is something I want to put on live stream. I just keep forgetting. Everybody's fading ETH right now. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Like, Crypto Banter came out and said that I can't do the voice, but he's like, I'm converting my ETH over to Solana. I see people saying that nobody wants to do a trade on Ethereum because of gas fees, even though there's the base chain and Lina and all these layer 2s that are helping out the scalability. In my opinion, I think the reason why the price is trading sideways and going down is in preparation for this ETF. I think not. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I do think they're going to get this ETF passed. And once this ETF gets passed, there's going to be a massive green light for Hong Kong and China and the US to buy in. And that's when we're going to see the Ethereum bull run. So in my opinion, you guys are at the most optimal time to do this, because if everybody's saying that Ethereum is dead, it is not dead. I play this game so many times where they say this sucks, and I do the opposite. I make so much money. That's what happens when you get 14 projects that go above 100x.
Yeah,
but I bet you never thought you'd see 4 go at this time of year.
Yeah, man. I mean, so I like what I like where you guys are at, and I like how you got the marketing ramping up and Jake's becoming active and everything's looking good. Now, let's talk about the main thing. I think this is what everybody wants to know. We got to talk about day 280. We're seeing a lot of supply hit the market. We briefly talked about in the beginning. You know, we don't think too much is going to happen. How's Tea and Crumpets going to support the Tea and X ecosystem on day 280? First question. And then the second question, how do you think this project will perform thereon after that? Adoption wise, you don't have to say price stuff because I don't want you guys to get in trouble. So in adoption, bring people on.
You know, you're the man for the bonfire. Is it for the bonfire party? Josh.
Who, Josh?
Sorry, taking that. Yeah, sorry, mate. I thought you said Justin there for some reason. Yeah, no, I think we've got, so roughly when we launch, we'll have about 80 days. What are we on? We're day 200, I think, today. Titan X day 200. So, yeah, so we've got 80 days. So, all right, so we're a little bit over. So we're going to have between 60 to 80 days of Ethereum building up in that pool, in the bonfire part of the pool. So once that date hits, it's kind of similar to how the vortex is going to work for Hyper. So we'll have that built up Ethereum, and once that date hits it, and that's all decentralized in the code that we've built, and there'll just be a public function for that to be called, and that'll start to operate from just shortly after day 80. So we'll let the day 80 click over, and we'll probably see 5 to 7 days of that inflation coming out as people start to claim their miners through that first week after 280, and that's when we'll kick in. And very much like the vortex, I know you're quite aware of how that works, Chris, and it's very similar there. So you're gonna have the vortex, the Blaze bonfire part is all kicking in and working in harmony to buy up the Titan X inflation. I think that's going to be huge. I think people are really going to be surprised with the amount of projects that are actually focusing their buy and burns on that date. And so yeah, that probably is where we're at with the bonfire part, is for Titan X. But we've got so that will carry on. That pool will carry on to be filled after day 280 through Blaze protocol. So we'll have specific dates that are coded in and can never be changed. They'll be made public, and those dates will continue to trigger throughout the Blaze protocol with that same Ethereum percentage that we bring in from the auctions.
Gotcha. And if I recall, if you burn a bunch of Titan X, you're going to get like a burn reward for that as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's right.
That's good. Okay, I like that. That's good.
Did
Yeah,
we
Go ahead. Sorry.
Did we decide on the dates? Did we put that down on paper yet?
Yeah, we've got the dates. We've tried to work them into how they would benefit the future dates. Sorry, how they'll benefit some of our release dates with staking, staking pools and stuff like that. So we've got all that. We've got all that there. That'll all be made public at launch, so everyone will be fully aware of that and when they're going to happen. I think it's about three, off the top of my head, it's 3 or 4 times a year that will come out. So it's sort of like quarterly through each year.
Awesome. No, I love it. And I think that when day 280 comes in, that's when everybody's going to be looking, all right, so when's going to be the true turning point after that massive inflation to hit? And we do know it's going to be somewhere between day 280 and day 369, which I think 369 launches, was that November 6th or 7th? I can't remember. It's like November 6th or 7th, 2024. So yeah, I think that's going to be a really optimal time. And once that starts to hit and you have your protocol in full scale, with the value TINX going up based off the time and burn, it's going to be just Hart's Law within the ecosystem. So it's going to be crazy. And then on top of that, you got Helios coming in, you got Dragon X coming in, and then there's like 4 or 5 other protocols, man. Like we need to like write this down or get Mike Dean over here to like, teach a class or something.
But yeah, it like you say, one of the fundamental things is like if ETH does start to go on a rip at some stage, it just adds so much value into the whole ecosystem as well. Going to be hopefully be nice to see.
Yeah. And the other thing I was also looking at, they were talking about the value of the buy and burn. I saw a lot of guys saying that because if the ETH were to go up, the value of the buy and burn would stay the same. I don't know. Have you guys like looked into that at all?
Who said that?
Eric from Dragon X and then dude from Helios. So I haven't really looked into it, but I was curious to see if you guys knew.
Yeah, I've seen the discussions about it and
no.
Oh, my internet's. Yeah, I've seen the discussions.
It doesn't clearly make sense if the value of the Ethereum goes up and tightens down, then how could the value of the buy and burn stay the same? So but there's perspectives. Go ahead, Josh. Sorry to interrupt, brother. Thought you were checking out for a second.
Yeah, no, I was breaking up a little bit. For some reason my internet started getting a bit shaky. But yeah, I've seen discussions on it and looked into it a little bit. I think it's more to do with how they're looking at from like a ratio perspective. I need to look into that myself. Actually, it's quite an interesting one. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to look into it, but I've just been meme coin trading, so I just haven't really turned my brain on in a minute. But the way I see it is, if you got the value of Ethereum trading sideways and then the value of TINX goes down, the ratio of TINX versus Ethereum decreases because there's going to be it increases because there's going to be, you can swap more Ethereum, you can swap the same amount of Ethereum to get more TINX. So retrospectively, that would burn more of it off the market. But I mean, honestly, I think the best way to really do this is just bring them on and we just talk about it. I don't want to get anybody confused and start an inner community conflict like what's going on Pulse Chain. So
I don't think you would. That's a complicated metric, and if you think anything on Ethereum is going to get pulled up by Ethereum going up, there's that perspective, right? And maybe that's what they're talking about. Just to simplify it a little bit, but that's not always true. If Titan's still going down, it's not, it's not hanging on to Ethereum, right? So the key is, as Ethereum climbs, and it will climb, whether the ETFs are successful or not, it will go up more as we go into the bull cycle. If Titan is still going down, then that's more buying power to just eliminate the supply. It makes total sense that way, but I would love to hear Dude and whoever else, because they're super smart and they could maybe elaborate on what their thoughts on that a little more. And I just want to give a shout out to Mike Dean too for putting these Dune analytics together, right? So we could time our protocol 280, right? I mean, everyone's timing this off, some, folks have done work for free completely for the community. So that's just been, it's really bringing people together in Titan X community, that are holding and not just bailing. So
Yeah,
it's nice to see.
Awesome. Well, I think so we're getting up to an hour, so I want to ask one last question, do a little panel, go around the room and see. I want to get you guys' perspective. So we got Titan Blaze coming down the road, and I know you guys been working hard. You've been really excited. You took the arrows. Everybody's saying Titan X is dead, which they clearly have no idea what they're talking about, obviously. But with the launch of Titan Blaze, what are some things you are excited about Titan Blaze, and what do you think what makes Titan Blaze much more different than the rest of the projects out there on Ethereum?
I'll let somebody else get into a bit more detail. One of the things I'm most excited about is the actual launch mechanism. We've got this liquidity pool that gets formed once we get the $30,000 worth of Ethereum coming into the protocol. That's going to create pair the $30,000 with 14,000 Blaze tokens, and for 72 hours, or hopefully around 72 hours, hopefully that $30,000 comes in very quick, and you're going to have a liquidity pool with not too much Blaze in it, only 14,000 Blaze, and that's the only Blaze there'll be in existence for 72 hours. So the dynamic between what's available on the market and this 3-day auction that's going on, it's not going to take a lot of money, people buying Blaze on market, to pump the price up crazy, and that playing in with, what will if there's another 8,000 coming out on an auction, if the prices get pumped way up, there could be a lot of people putting a lot of ETH in to try and get the Blaze, to get their Blaze, to catch it, to be able to sell it at that price. So that first 3 days is one of the things that I'm actually most excited about. What happens with the liquidity pool? How high can it go up, and what effect that's going to have on the auctions in the first few days?
Awesome.
How about you, Josh?
Yeah. What am I most excited about? I'm excited I'm excited everything, the whole thing. I'm a Blaze absolute bull. I want to get it out. I want to get it out, make it successful, and I cannot wait to come over to Pulse Chain, bring Blaze over to Pulse Chain, and really start messing around with liquidity webs, buying burns, and actually building out a complete ecosystem over there. And that we've got to get this right here. Prove to everyone that we can do it, and we can build good solid code and abide by all the pillars of the Titan X ecosystem. No VCs, no token allocations, fully decentralized. Our buy and burn is completely 100% decentralized, totally hands off, not a single admin key there. So yeah, I'm excited about everything.
Love it.
Sure.
Love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and for me, it's all that these guys just said, but we had 11 million cap supply, and we have a buy and burn for our own token worked in, through the Titan X buy and burn held in the liquidity pool, if you will. So that's super exciting. And I love the fact that somebody's gonna be sleeping, 200 days from now, and no one's put it in an auction and they're gonna scoop up, 4,500 Blaze tokens for next to nothing, and they're gonna, so that whole game theory aspect. And I also like the fact that our share rate is not top heavy at the beginning, and we have this decelerating share rate, and it kind of on the back end it kind of builds back up, so people are not disencouraged to. This is something we talked with Jake about, to stake. So it's not too top heavy, so the people coming in later can get the fair share of the pool potentially. Yeah, and that's my thing. And plus, the Blaze Diamond Club is like combining a Blaze Wars NFT battle game into a DeFi protocol and giving NFTs utility. Like, wake up, world! Like, this is what's gonna. An NFT is not just a JPEG. It's gonna be your Ferrari, your driveway, your house. It's gonna be anything you want it to be soon enough, And so it's cool to let it. Look at it. All right, so we're giving away $1,000 a week in Ethereum till we launch. All right. I don't know if you saw our thing, Chris. You might have seen it or not, but yes, of course you did, because I saw your comment on there. But yeah, I mean, this is so we're not blowing smoke, right? Because people will sit here and they'll drag protocols on forever. So this is something we're really proud of, and we hope that it helps people.
Yeah,
in a big way.
I'm listening to you guys talk. We're actually going to have to start going on a few other people's channels and doing more deep dives with people, because there is actually so much going on. You know, we're talking about. I'm talking about one thing, and the ongoing auctions and the ban burn and the other protocols, the Blaze, the Wars protocol, the pulse chain protocol. There's so much stuff to get into. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline. But yeah, look, we're hit an hour and 5 minutes there, and we'll maybe wrap it up. Have you any sort of closing remarks or anything you want to say before we jump off, Chris?
Yeah, man. Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this live stream. This was fun. It was cool to just talk about what's going on.
Yeah,
in
thanks very
crypto.
much. You were one of the first people that give us a voice as well when we were starting out. We needed places to go, and you were kind enough to bring us on the show then. So yeah, you had to be reciprocated.
Yeah, man.
And we're very grateful for that, man. We don't forget that. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Appreciate it. And guys, please show support for the Blaze protocol. I get it. We're going to see a lot more projects, and I understand if you don't want to go into every single one, but there's some awesome game theory behind Blaze protocol and Titan Wars. And there's also potential where if you play the game right, you might get paid. Not financial advice, but you guys get the point.
Yeah.
But all in all, the big thing I want to say is the Tinex story isn't over. We're seeing the build out of this ecosystem. We're seeing some great project development. The guys that first adopt this project, they're going to be called the OGs that you hear on Pulse Chain all the time, or whatever chain. And there's a good chance that if this thing explodes in the fall, you're going to see more projects and more building, and then a new generation take over. So overall, very bullish. Also, please follow Bad Sports, Rainman, and Ali Kane on their Twitter accounts. Show them support. They're always posting alpha. I follow every single one of these guys, and it's really good. And if you guys want to check me out on the Verse 369, I'm always DJing. I'm touching shiny objects, and I'm pissing people off, and that's how I roll. So shout out to you guys, and thank you so much.
Oh yeah,
Cheers,
that's awesome, man. Yeah, thanks for coming on, and yeah, everybody out there, have a lovely day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.
Sweet. See you later.
Peace out.
Peace out.